Hey everybody. So I am finally doing my update. It is really overdue. Well, a week and a half. Well, yeah. Okay. A week and a half. So I had my doctor's appointment September 18th. The catheter did come out. Awesome. Um, but I had a rough week post catheter removal to the point where I was not in a good place. Like I was really freaked out, really anxious. I was upset. I didn't I just wanted to kind of keep my head down um and see what was going to happen. Like I was so freaked out. So I had a he did his test on Wednesday and the test went fine actually. He was able to see what he needed to see. He was like, it looks great. I think we're good. Take it out. Um, really, man, I don't know if so. The test that he was trying to mimic is called a VCUG. Um, is basically when you stand up and they fill your bladder up, and then they take an X-ray. It's they fill it up with a dye, and you stand up, and then they take an X-ray as you pee, basically. Because if there's any leaks, it'll it'll show. The dye will show that it's going where it shouldn't go. But we don't have. I'm having some focusing issues. Sorry, I'm in my living room because my husband's taking a nap. Um, it we don't have the equipment to do the standing, so we have a table. You can lay down. That's all you can do. So he did this. He tried first with me just kind of laying down. Didn't work. That was really hard. He's like, just try it. Like, no, dude, I tried, could not do it. I'm like, you're gonna have to give me some kind of angle here. So then he did the stirrups and tilt to the table, and it was hilarious. And it's a good thing I liked my doctor because it's terrible. Like, this is not a fun thing to go through. But we got it to work good enough to where he felt he got a decent picture and felt pretty comfortable that there was no leaks. So catheter came out, finished emptying my bladder there, and I was like, yeah, okay, happy to have this out. I feel okay. So I went home, and from the time I got home to the time I went to bed, the pain levels just got higher and higher, and it hurt to go to the bathroom, and my back was killing me. Like my lower back on both sides just felt like I had gotten punched in them. And I was like, what the F is going on? Like, I'd had discomfort with a catheter in, just felt, I don't know, pressure, you know, and I kind of expected that, but this was unreal. Like, I really felt miserable. I was at the level wanting to go to the ER all Wednesday night. And I was like, no, nope, it's not an emergency. I wasn't running a fever, no chills, no bleeding or anything. Like it's literally not an emergency, even though I'm like in so much pain. Um, I'm trying to think what it. So Thursday, I've mentioned it before, but I go to the military hospital. Thursday was a training day, so they were closed. So I was like, okay, if the symptoms keep up, I'll just call first thing Friday. And my doctor's really good. He's a great guy. I figured if I called first thing Friday, like I'd hear from him. So, and he had already put in, because I wasn't feeling good Wednesday, like I felt run down and it felt like I'd been kind of fighting uh, an infection without having the outward symptoms. He had put in an order for urinalysis anyway, just to kind of cover his bases. So Thursday they were closed. Friday first thing, and I had another horrible day Thursday. I was in so much pain all day, slept terrible. Thursday night, same thing. I was like, man, I just try not to go to the ER because I don't want to be that person that goes to the ER when you really don't need to go to the ER. So I didn't go to the ER. I made it. Why is this thing not focusing? Sorry. I This is crappy quality. It's probably because of the light coming in from behind me, but I don't want to move. Um, I'm lazy, so it's a little bit blurry off to the side. Sorry. Um, so I made it through Thursday night, called first thing Friday, and sure enough, like hour or two, he called me back. So he's like, go ahead and get the urinalysis. He's like, no fever, no chills, no, everything seemed okay. I was like, yeah, and I don't, even though it felt like an infection, I didn't think it was an infection because everything looked good. There's no blood, no nothing. So he's like, go ahead and get the urinalysis. I'm going to put in an order for this medicine called meloxicam. So it is a stronger anti-inflammatory. It's like, okay, because Motrin wasn't helping. So I went and got the urinalysis done, which was clean. Nothing looked great. I got the meloxicam filled. It helped. It helped. Wasn't a perfect solution, but I got a good night's sleep. Friday night, got a good night's sleep. Saturday night, but I was having just a lot of urinary pain, that urgency, the bladder pressure. Oh God, I was miserable. Like I was just so panicked. I was freaking out inwardly. I was holding it together outwardly, but inwardly I was just like, oh my God, I can't go back to this. I can't. Um, Funny enough though, the leaking was, yeah, I did a lot for the leaking, which was great because that was, the primary complaint after the first surgery was the leaking. So I just didn't feel up to getting on here and doing this video because I was so scared. I was just, I don't even know. There's just no words. If you're watching this, you've had one of these and maybe you've had that severe symptoms. Like before my first surgery, I was frequently cycling between I'd say 2 on my pain scale to a 6 to 7 within the day. Between in a 24-hour period, I would bounce around. It just depended on what I was doing. And this was kind of back to that, and it was just freaking me out so bad. Long story short, I've continued to take the meloxicam. I've just kept myself calm. I've been using my heating pad when I needed to, and slowly and surely those symptoms that were just kicking my butt have backed off to the point now to where I don't think I need to even take the meloxicam, but I'm kind of afraid to stop it at the same time. But it's just an anti-inflammatory. So I'm going to talk to my doctor at my follow-up on Tuesday. Yeah, the first. So my next follow-up, I'm just going to ask him um, what his thoughts are. Should I go ahead and just stop it? See, still having some urgency issues where, I can't go super long, but I'm not having the pain. I'm not having that awful bladder pressure where it just felt like there was this weighted balloon in the center of my pelvis. It's horrible. Horrible. Like if you are here, you probably have this, you know what I'm talking about. Miserable. Just one of the worst things out there. I'm still having frequency issues though, like I gotta go to the bathroom too often than not. Some of the leaking has started to come back, but honestly, we knew that there was going to be leaking issues, like that's a given. I'm not having the type of leaking, at least one of the types of leaking, which is what he was pretty sure was coming from the urethral diverticulum, which is just that random where just be standing around and all of a sudden I just feel a gush come out that he felt was coming from the diverticulum. I haven't had it. So, yay. I'm having just the stress. I had a bout of sneezing yesterday, like 5 sneezes in a row. First one or two is like, yeah, good. And then I got to the third, fourth, and fifth, and my pelvic floor is like, stop it. Um, and I had leaking a little bit. So that is going to require pelvic floor physical therapy. And he mentioned bladder sling if, you know, can't get it fixed. I'm going to knock on wood and hope I can avoid the sling. I don't know. I'm really not wanting any more of that stuff, really. I want everything to just stop down below. Just stop. It's been a lot. It's been 2 surgeries within 2 years, same time frame, and I really don't. I'm done. I'm done. I'm so grateful that the pain um is pretty much cleared up. Like I really haven't been having a lot of pain actually for the past 2 days. So it was kind of like the bladder pressure cleared up. Yeah, I would say probably in the last 2 days. So that's my update. The second go has been a lot harder than the first time. The first time I really didn't have pain after the surgery. Had catheter discomfort, but really didn't have pain. This time around, there's been a lot more post-op pain. There's more post-op spotting. Even though I was on antibiotics, I just felt like crap, honestly, for a lot of it. So it was tough. He did say it was a harder surgery, so maybe that played a part in it. Um, so I guess the takeaway from this is if you're going for your second surgery or third, um, just maybe be a little bit more prepared for it to be a more difficult road because that was my experience, and we're all different. I have no idea, but I was taken by surprise. I didn't expect the second time to really be any different than the first. Honestly, I kind of thought it was going to be easier because I wasn't having a lot of pain pre-surgery. I was having pain, but it wasn't my primary symptom. The primary was the leaking, and then the pain was just coming and going and coming and going, and it didn't often get up to a 6-ish. There was a couple of times, but generally I wasn't going up that high. So just wasn't really prepared for what post-op ended up being. It was kind of tough, but that's that's my takeaway that I would give to anybody that's going through this for a second time onward that just, things might be a little bit more difficult to recover from. Talk to your doctor about it too. I I did talk to my doctor and he said that it was just maybe down to the fact that it was harder this time, harder surgery. So I probably won't update any further. Like maybe updates when I start getting into trying to address the leaking, if there's anything, just because they're kind of tied together and it is not uncommon to have incontinence after the surgery, and it may be useful to post my experience in, just trying to resolve it because I am going to try to resolve it. I don't know what it's going to look like. I do have a really good pelvic floor physical therapist that I was seeing after the first surgery, and I really liked her. She's who I'm going to go back to. She does not believe in just jumping right to doing internal hoorah down below. She's like 90% of the time we can resolve pelvic floor issues without having to get in there and do internal work. And if you've had pelvic floor physical therapy, if you've had them get in there and do anything internal, I mean, come on, it's not fun. Like this is not what I want to do, and this is not what I want to go through. So if there's an option to resolve this without going to that place, please, please sign me up. So that's, I want to go back to her because she was really cool. She had really good information and I liked her. So I might post an update about that just when I get going with that. I don't know when that's going to be. I actually have to go. I'm going to San Diego to see my neuro-otologist about my vertigo issues, which have oddly enough been a little bit better since this. I woke up with vertigo. Um, it went on for about the first week and then it kind of died off. I have, um, I don't want to say medical problems, but I have some issues from an acoustic neuroma, which is a type of, I guess, skull-based tumor that grows on your vestibular balance nerve. Um, I had vertigo before the tumor was diagnosed, and it cleared out for a while, and I just have had it coming back increasingly. And like over the summer, it came back and stuck around for like a month. Oh my God, I was about losing my mind. Um, but they want me to go back, and actually, I've already talked to the neurologist, and he's got a doctor visit he wants me to see, but we've got to jump through some trachea hoops because he was a doctor that treated me. Easy road back to him. Long story. I'm going to San Diego in October, going to San Diego in December, and I probably won't deal with pelvic floor physical therapy until I got that off my plate because it's a lot. Just deal with it on that. So anyway, it's a positive update. It took a week and a half before I felt confident that I was like I feel like I'm finally through the hoops. I'm recovered. If you have questions, I posted in the very first series, the Facebook group. Very helpful. There are so many women in that group that have been going through this, and I think it's really good to have a support team that you can go to and ask questions. I say team because it's kind of a team effort to get through some of this sometimes. It's just when you're down, when you're stressed, when you're scared, it's useful to have somebody that can say, yeah, I've been there. You'll be okay. You'll get through this. So, yeah, I guess that's it. So I'm going to sign off and thank you for watching. I hope this has helped somebody. I'm glad I was able to actually get these videos done this time. Um, Again, I apologize for the quality. This isn't my thing. I'm an accountant, I'm an auditor. I don't do YouTube, but yeah, talk to you all later. Bye.